Being a CEO is as tough as it sounds, especially in a country like Nigeria where the odds are just higher. But being an under-30 CEO, that is tougher and more demanding. But some young people have been able to break out of the status quo and become CEOs and chief of industries in their various fields. I'll be talking to one of these. Stay tuned. So today I'll be chatting with Aham Rochas. He is the founder of the Arrow Group and the president of the Arrow Foundation. He's going to tell us more about his businesses, more about his life as a CEO, and the challenges maybe. It's nice to have you on the
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
What happened to be an under-30 CEO?
How does it feel?
Yeah, how does it feel?
I think it feels great. It feels different. I'd assume the challenges are different, as I'm not an over 30 CEO. I can't really tell what the difference is or how to compare it with any other thing. But I think just seeing my peers in the industry as well, I think it's special. It's a bit different, and it's interesting. It's come with its own challenges, but interesting.
Okay. So did you always know that you were going to tour the business path, or something just tossed you that way?
I think I've always known, not too early though. Unfortunately, I can't say that when I was a child, I thought I was going to be a business person, unfortunately. But I can say that I think for as long as I can remember, I've always been a change agent of some sort. So I always known that I wanted to effect change in my community or, wherever I found myself. So I think in some way that has sort of transpired into the business world. But well, when I say change agent, I think I sort of describe that as being able to see the world differently. When I was young, I'd open up like the VCR players and try to see what's going on and why couldn't it be different. With everything around me, so with every device or with workings of things, I always like to see how different. To look at the world differently and probably change something different. So I guess that's what I mean by change agent. Well, our group is a group of companies, very dynamic, avid companies that are trying to make a change in the country and on the continent at large. We have Fuller, which is a real estate company. We're real estate developers at Fuller. We try to do a lot, change what the status quo of real estate is in the industry. And we also have Goldbond. Goldbond is a tech consulting company. We consult for state government, for the federal government on ICT projects and IT projects, yes.
And your foundation?
And the foundation, yes. And the Arrow Foundation is sort of our, I think our better half in a corporate world. We'll call it our better half. Our foundation is set up to, again, bring positive change, real positive change. Our foundation, I think, to better put it, it goes beyond trying to just change statistics and metrics. What really drives us at the foundation is changing minds. We like to change minds and hearts of both the people who are disenfranchised and those who are privileged. So we try to let people know that there's a world around them and that people do care about you and that with very little you could really show lots of love to someone else.
Let's look at your upbringing.
Yes.
Tell me about your upbringing, like your upbringing and the role you played in who you become today.
Yes. My upbringing. I think I might have the best parents in the world. I think
everybody says that.
Everybody says that, but you have to see mine to really for the evidence.
I mean, who doesn't have the best parents in the world? I mean, we all have the best parents.
But my dad, my mom, I think I had the best of both worlds. My mom was a disciplinarian when I was growing up.
That's great.
She kept us on our toes. She was the mom where if you came back with a second position, in class, you want to hide that down and you probably feel bad. She wouldn't beat you about it, but you sort of cry by yourself and stuff. So I had that like a mom, and my dad was obviously an entrepreneur. He self-made, and his journey and his stories, being able to teach me those lessons. Because I think one of the successes, I guess, why you're here today interviewing me as an under-30 CEO is I've had a crash course growing up, and that's because my dad has been through this and he was a CEO very early on, but he's been through lots of the challenges. But growing up, I got the crash course in saying this is how to do this, I know how to do this, and all that. But I think with my childhood, the most significant part would be the influence of the family foundation, which is the Rochas Foundation.
Yes,
it played an important part in my life, because I remember when I was growing up, around 5 or 6, from that I think I had the memory still there. We do these masalachi trips where we go out to where we have the beggars with the arms and all of that, and on Fridays, and I see my mom and my dad and everyone in the household sort of working together, and they'll cook these big meals in these really large pots. I don't think I've seen those pots since I left Jos, but they'll cook all this food, and then we go there and then we serve. And I think I think a lot of even my businesses and my life so far really comes from, I think, moments like that, because it sort of changed my mindset. I got to see people and see us for who we really are, just people who are living different. What I always like to say, that people, human beings, are sort of like the same person living different experiences. So you get to see some of these people, and at that young age, I got to see myself in them, and I got to put myself like, what if that was me? And so that really has influenced sort of my journey so far, and that's why I couldn't wait to start our foundation, and I couldn't wait to get into business. So it really played a wonderful part, I think. But they shouldn't just think it. I think it's true. I am born with this. I was born with a silver spoon. I am privileged more than others, and I think also being able to know that, I think can really add to one's overall development as a person and success. So I definitely am privileged, but beyond that, I will 100% contribute some of my successes to that. But on the other part, let me finish. But on the other part, like you've mentioned, I did have a first class in school. I do run at IO Group. I'm MD of IO Group. I don't do 9 to 6. I feel like I do 24 hours, 12 to 12, back to back. And so there's work that goes into it. And I do study. I obviously I went to University of Manchester. I did my master's at Imperial. I'm actually doing a part-time master's at Cambridge. So my privilege is there, but also there's hard work that goes into it. But being able to also be aware of my privilege, I think I'm now able to see that if I can do a lot with the privilege I'm giving, how wonderful and how fantastic would it be if lots more people had the same privilege. And that's why the foundation was really set up, and that's why education to me is key. I believe that you speak about my privilege, but I think the contributing factor, not necessarily finances, but where I would actually attribute my privilege to, and what it has really done for me, is that it has been able to secure my education. And I give 80% of my success to my education, and that's why with the foundation, the EEP is very dear to my heart, because I'm hoping to provide, if with the kids, the 200 kids that we're currently taking care of now, these kids would not have been in school, and just the idea that they are in school now, and in a couple of years' time, they might actually become entrepreneurs just like myself. That's fantastic. So I think I am aware of my privilege, and but for me, obviously, it's not just that's gotten me to where I am, but also being aware of that. And I think the next question is, how do I now extend that to lots more other people, so we can have a platform as well.
So this is how much you can take on this episode of the program on the 30 CEO. And as I always say, there are no dress rehearsals tonight. We just have one show today. We must give it our best. I'm Cecilia, and this is Inspired.